Why don't you admit? Now you know what the fact is. No, watch it. Some of the planes, no, Mr. Patel, you take, no, watch it. Some of the planes are not delivered on time. Purchase of some of those planes have to be stalled. Some of these planes have to be sold off. Now clearly, it was a flawed decision. You would at least admit to me today, no, Mr. Patel, let me complete. You would at least admit to me today in hindsight that it was a flawed decision. I'm sure you'll agree with me on that.
Whether it's a flawed decision or not,
I'm asking you.
Question.
I'm asking you.
The question is, did I decide on that particular type of
Mr.
aircraft?
Patel, you were part of the decision-making process.
See, why are we discussing Arnab today? The allegation is that Praful Patel nudged somebody to buy aircraft.
Yes,
did I nudge them?
Oh,
the
yes,
answer is no.
Oh, yes,
did I persuade them to buy X number of aircraft? The answer is no. Whatever decisions were taken was by this elaborate process of governance, and at the end of the day, there were 20 agencies involved which are looking at different things. I cannot decide for the Ministry of Finance. I cannot decide for the Planning Commission. I cannot decide for the EGOM. I cannot decide for the Cabinet. Yeah. Please, for God's sake, this myth and this kind, and if Mr. Rai has anything proof, he should have written, in this report. There was no stopping him. He has access to every single document. That is how these reports are prepared.
Mr. Patel, do you concede that? Do you at least concede to everyone watching tonight, please, that your decision to acquire 68 planes instead of the originally proposed 28 was flawed? I mean, why are you stuck on that? Possibly it was flawed. Will it be a great loss of face for you to admit today that your decision was flawed?
When I ceased to be the Civil Aviation Minister in 2011.
If you feel there was no malice or ill intent
listen to
or
me now,
corruption behind that decision, why don't you admit it was just a flawed decision?
Listen to me.
Why don't you admit it was a flawed decision?
No, first you listen to me what I'm saying. I ceased to be the Civil Aviation Minister in 2011. In 2012, one year and a half, more than that, after I left, the Cabinet of India reiterated the purchase of the 27 of the 50 aircraft which you are talking in question. They reiterated that decision, and then the aircraft
were you not a member of that cabinet?
Delivered. So if the,
were you not a member of the cabinet? As far as I know, you were a member of the Manmohan Singh cabinet on the last day.
These aircraft,
were you not a member of that cabinet?
Yes, I was, but I chose to keep quiet.
Oh, how do I know you chose to keep quiet?
So why should I say if the Cabinet of India unanimously agrees to reiterate the decision, because Air India, the proposal, I cannot now disclose to you what a cabinet note contains, but the fact is there was a proposal that the aircraft were needed.
My information is
a turnaround plan which says more than the number of aircraft
information is, Mr. Patel,
further needed.
My information is, Mr. Patel, my information is, Mr. Patel, that you were the most vocal member of the cabinet pushing these decisions. What my sources tell me is that you are the most vocal member of the cabinet pushing these decisions.
Well, I am talking of a decision retaken in 2012 after I ceased to be a minister of that department.
But still in the cabinet.
Of that, Arnab. Listen, the point here is...
No, the point here is, Mr. Patel.
Is fishing for cheap publicity.
No, Mr. Patel, 1 minute. No, 1 second. Just a minute.
Anything of wrongdoing which he says, now don't question the number. Please don't talk of the number.
No, I'm not getting into the numbers at this stage. I'm asking you a fundamental question. Why aren't you answering a more fundamental question? I'm actually on a very critical point, Mr. Patel. I'm at a critical point of the interview if you care to listen, please.
I have not decided that number.
No, listen to me, please, Mr. Patel. Please. Now, this is a very serious question.
Yes.
One person who was there playing a critical role in this decision, when you were Civil Aviation Minister and when you were not.
Yes.
Before and after is P. Chidambaram. You agree with me?
Of course I was there.
Did he have any role? Did he have any role in this decision?
Which, the first decision?
The entire decision to buy the 68 planes. Did he have any role in the decision?
Of course, I mean, as a member of the cabinet, as a minister of a particular department, all the issues are obviously processed by a ministry. There's a system, and that is why I read out the whole system to you.
So you're saying that if you're saying, you know what? So you're saying you can't. No, 1 second. You're saying is therefore. No, you're saying therefore is the decision. No, 1 second.
Approved by its board, examined and approved by Ministry of Civil Aviation, the Planning Commission, the Department of Expenditure, PIB, empowered group of ministers, and then finally the CCA.
Now, who was in the... Was Chidambaram... No, 1 second. Let's go logically.
Of course, a part and parcel of some process.
Mr. Patel, You're not a member of the CCEA,
Yes.
but Chidambaram was, right?
No, I'm also a member of CCA because for a subject for which the ministry is...
So you were a member on that?
Called.
No, so 1 second. The only person besides you... Let's go calmly and quick. The one person besides you who was a member of several of these decision-making processes was Mr. Chidambaram. Am I right or wrong, Mr. Patel? I mean, why are you cagey about it? Tell us if it is the truth.
The final decision to buy these aircraft or not and the number of aircraft to be bought was decided in the empowered group of ministers headed by Mr. P. Chidambaram.
So Mr. P. So what you're saying is if anyone has a problem with it, including Mr. Vinod Rai, they should ask Mr. Chidambaram.
I mean, if this should also be a part of the, if at all somebody is saying, I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but if anybody wants to allege that more aircraft are bought, then I am not the only person responsible. Certainly not. It's ultimately the EGOM and the Cabinet of India which has approved it. They are responsible, not me.
In all these decisions, Mr. Chidambaram played a critical role.
If I am a minister of a particular department, obviously certain processes go back and forth. That doesn't mean that I drive those processes. And if this is the way everybody is going to be treated with suspicion, I am sorry to say, Arnab Goswami, nobody is going to take a decision. I dare say, I'm sorry there's a new government or Modi government here. Mr. Vinod Rai has questioned why a decision of this magnitude was taken in 7 months. Every day Mr. Modi is pushing to fast-track decisions. I think he should also take a cue from Mr. Vinod Rai that in future no such Mr. Rai should
Mr. Praful Patel
or in any
Mr. Praful Patel, 1 minute.
Who will then fix them for taking quick decisions.
Now let's be very clear here. Since we are talking frankly,
civil aviation.
Since we are talking frankly,
performance audit of civil aviation in India. Has Mr. Rai even once mentioned the kind of airports of India which have been upgraded, the kind of communication and navigation systems of India which have been upgraded,
Mr. Rai, I have a letter.
The kind of competitiveness which has come into the Indian aviation because of private and international airlines in India?
The letter.
Mr. Rai is only talking of one thing. Has he, if he was so truly concerned about performance, he should have mentioned that Indians can hold their head high and be proud of the fact that the aviation infrastructure of India has gone to the highest
Mr. Patel.
level. You yourself must acknowledge this, Mr.
Please, Mr. Patel, I am in no mood to acknowledge or give certificates. I am asking you a few questions. Let's stick to the point. Let's stick to the point, Mr. Patel.
If he has the guts, he should come out with facts which say that Mr. Praful Patel has done something wrong. His innuendos, his insinuations must stop.
The innuendo is pretty clear. Now, Mr. Patel, Mr. Patel,
I'm telling you, we are taking legal recourse. I am going to the court of law. My lawyers are advising me, and I do not mind, and I have no hesitation in saying that we will be filing defamation, including criminal defamation proceedings against Mr. Vinod Rai. I myself will be doing it in the due course of the next week itself.
I don't know. Are you doing this out of nervousness? Because he hasn't quite said that you took bribes. Or
no, I am not.
He hasn't said you took kickbacks. I mean, 1 second, Mr. Patel, let me please.
The kind of innuendos and insinuation one gets from people who've been holding high constitutional office. Instead of appreciating the work people have done, you think he is the only man who wears a badge of honor, of integrity?
Praful Patel, can I just tell you to hold for a minute?
In Parliament,
can I request you to hold for a minute?
Integrity. Only he has the man with integrity.
Mr. Praful Patel.
What is the insinuation all about?
The insinuation, I mean, you want me to be frank?
What is this insinuation all about?
You want me to be frank?
Only to try to undermine somebody's integrity.
Mr. Frank, of course there are question marks over your integrity which are being put here. You have any doubt over it?
Yes, so that is why I am saying that I will go to the court. I will defend my honor. If Mr. Rai has the right to, accuse me and abuse me in public, I certainly have the right
to seek all the
legal recourse which I
No, but where is he accused you? What has he accused you of?
Why should I not speak on your channel?
What has he accused you of?
That what Mr. Vinod Rai has said is absolutely absurd, it is wrong, it is false, it is malicious, it is frivolous. I say that.
Mr. Patel, 1 second. Did you or did you not in the meeting of 2nd August 2004, did your ministry not overrule the then Chief Chairman and Managing Director of Air India? Did the Chairman and Managing Director of Air India
not at all. In fact, that is why you please go through the minutes. minutes. You don't have the minutes.
Of course I have the minutes. No, first take that back, Mr. Patel. I have the minutes.
If you want
you want the minutes, I'll give them to you.
I will read it out for your benefit.
I'll read it out.
I will read out the minutes for your benefit.
Mr. Patel. Let's read it out. Okay.
Please don't.
No, let me read it out to you.
I will read out the minutes.
No, I will read it out to you, Mr. Patel. 1 minute. No, Mr. Patel, let me read it out to you because I want to read out. I want to read out the relevant part.
1 second.
No, let me read out the relevant part.
Of 2nd August.
1 second.
Chairman and Managing Director of Air India was of the view
that although the present proposal did not fully cater to the requirements of Air India's fleet, the additional requirements of aircraft, yes,
could be projected separately through
a supplementary proposal after due evaluation.
It may not be advisable or prudent to go through the pre-PIB and PIB exercise in 2 separate stages with 2 different sets of proposals.
Yes.
Such capital-intensive projects. It
would be desirable to take a total and comprehensive view
on the fleet of Air India, keeping in mind its plan and growth for the next 15 years or so. This is the minutes as quoted by Mr. Vinod Rai in his own report. What are you talking? As if I have said something. Mr. Vinod Rai can say and get away with it.
No.
We also have to protect our dignity.
You know, Mr. Patel, now stop. Now 1 minute. You must stop at this point. You must stop at this point. 1 second.
Every politician is a corrupt man. Every politician has done something
Mr.
wrong.
Patel, you are really made a big mistake right now.
Perception must
you made a big mistake right now.
I also come from a background.
You made a big mistake.
I have also, seen, and I have grown up from childhood. I have seen wealth, I have seen prosperity. My father was a laborer, but he had his own plane when he became big. In the 50s and 60s, I have been one of the highest taxpayers of the country even before I became a member of parliament thereafter. I have not drawn a single rupee salary from the government when I was a minister. I don't tom-tom about all these things.
Can I come to the point?
People like Mr. Vinod Rai, just for their cheap publicity and their benefit,
can I come to the point?
Try to run down people like us.
I will react the way
I am reacting.
Can I come to the point?
I will take him to court and I will fight.
First of all, first of all, you can take 1 second, Mr. Praful Patel. You see, you made a big mistake.